What's up everyone, I'm Corey Wagner, and today I'm in Detroit at the Newlab building with the Project Medtech team to take you guys along for their Midwest showcase. We're starting off with some breakfast, but we've got our usual suspects today for these Project Medtech events. We'll have a ton of serial entrepreneurs and venture capital folks we'll be listening to on panels today. We'll have a bunch of fast rounds, we've got startup pitches. Really excited to get into it. Let's start off with some panel discussions. I always find it remarkable that Project Medtech is able to put together this caliber of panelists for the Midwest. From angel investors and venture capital funds with access to hundreds of millions of dollars in capital, to healthcare and hospital groups with leaders from places like the Mayo Clinic or Henry Ford Health. The Project Medtech team is facilitating discussions on venture capital, healthcare and university innovation, accelerators, and a ton more. There truly is an incredible amount of knowledge being shared at the Midwest Showcase. Alright guys, just doing a little coffee break. Wanted to check in with you guys. Just got finished with the panel discussions. As always, they were amazing. It's just really cool. I mean, how often do you get managers and directors of investment funds to get on stage and answer questions regarding their thought process and what they're looking for from startups that they are opening their purse strings and giving money to? I think that type of stuff is so amazing. It's just incredible. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for the panels. But we still got more fun to do, so let's get to the next thing. We're gonna go check out some fast rounds. These are always awesome. It's folks who are in like peripheral industries that are kind of like support industries for the medtech space, explaining to a lot of startups what their offerings are. So let's go check it out and do some more learning. And now for the fast rounds. I like to frame these as all the folks that if startups don't think about them early, it'll likely cost them in the long run. I get it. Entrepreneurs just want to make a great product and for people to buy it. But the reality is you're going to need design work. You're probably going to need cybersecurity and haven't even thought of it. And you'll for sure want a good accountant and maybe don't know where to look. Well, that's why the Project Medtech team has these fast rounds. Meet the folks that support medtech products and do the untold work that gets things to market. All right, guys, got ourselves a little quick lunch check-in that I wanted to get into with you guys. Those fast rounds are awesome. It's just cool getting all the information. I don't know, that's just like a thing that gets overlooked, I feel like. Those peripheral businesses that are there to support the medtech community. So cool to get all of that information. Love that, but we've got more fun to get to. Let's go check out these startup pitches. Tons of great startups here. Excited to check them out. And here we are with one of my favorite pieces of the Midwest Showcase puzzle, the startup pitches. An interesting opportunity to look into the future and see not only what are the problems that hospital staff and patients are facing, but also the brilliant solutions entrepreneurs are finding to solve them. And it's just the cherry on top that there's a panel of judges who will decide which of these three folks will go home with some cold hard cash. We're back with another coffee break check-in, and again, I just am kind of obsessed with these framery pods. Like this little soundproof pod is kind of awesome. But anyways, let's stay on topic here. This is more about the Project Medtech event than it is about these awesome framery pods. We just got done with the startup pitches, and incredible. They're always one of my favorite parts of this. It's just really cool seeing what's coming down the river in the medtech space in terms of innovation. Very cool stuff. Shout out to all the startup folks that pitched. It's quite the accomplishment to get up there and pitch your company in 5 minutes to 200 people, especially 200 high-level individuals like we have here. So really cool. I'm excited to see who's taking home some cold hard cash. We're gonna hear from the Project Medtech team soon as for who won those startup pitches or the startup pitch competition. But for now, let's go cruise and check out the networking and yeah, keep the day moving. This is just too much fun. Having covered a number of these Project Medtech events over the last 4 years, I can say without a doubt that the networking at these is the top item I hear complimented. The access to people, the laid-back but professional vibe. It's hard to put your finger on exactly why the Project Medtech team curates such an amazing environment for networking, but it can't be ignored. There's just something about the energy here that pulls back everyone's guard and opens up everyone's accessibility, and it's incredible to be around. All right, we are in the midst of the networking portion of this, which is always one of the things that is most commented on to me by the attendees as their like most impactful portions of this event. People just love the fact that you can actually get one-on-one time with people here, but people here really feel like they can chat and make relationships and build relationships, which is awesome and one of the reasons that you need to come to more of these. But to throw it over to Dwayne Mancini, the CEO of Project Medtech, what are your takeaways from the Midwest Showcase in Detroit? First time in Detroit, by the way.
Yeah, first time in Detroit. We're coming back next year. I think the big takeaways is, to your point about the networking, it's not in a structured environment necessarily. We're not having pre-meetings set up or anything like that, which has its advantages and disadvantages. But in a setting like this where there's only 200 people, you have the ability to meet with who you want to meet with and have really organic conversations.
There's like an autonomy to it.
Exactly, and you get to actually start to build some really good relationships in a non-structured format, which is really nice. We heard so many people talk about that. The other thing that stood out about this is, like, for our panel discussions, there was a lot of Michigan representation. There was a lot of Midwest representation, but there was a lot of Michigan folks.
Yeah, you could feel that things
really
are
cool.
Things in Michigan are really cool for MedTech right now.
Really picking up.
It's interesting.
The other piece that was really good from an event perspective is our mix from startups, hospital innovation, accelerators, incubators, investors, and service providers was really split.
Balanced out.
And the investors covered everything from pre-seed, seed, early stage, angel investors that have cash and are ready to deploy because of the Michigan exits, all the way through Series A, Series B, Series C stage investors. So it was really cool to see that as well.
I mean, it's just fun seeing special stuff happening in the Midwest.
Yeah,
you gotta love it.
And Detroit too, from like a buildings perspective, the place we were in today was awesome.
Unreal.
Detroit, downtown Detroit is like
felt vibrant.
Really vibrant.
Yeah.
I was super impressed. I haven't been here in probably 10 years in downtown, and I mean there was a lot going on, but it was awesome.
You're not gonna have that excuse anymore because you've already locked in. Next year we're coming back to Detroit for Project Medtech for the Midwest Showcase. So make sure you're following LinkedIn. What are all the socials that people should be hanging out at?
Yeah, LinkedIn, YouTube now. We are offering all of our podcasts in video format via Spotify and YouTube, but also shorter clips as well, which is good. And then our brand new website that will be out either as this video airs or any
shortly after. Yeah. Well, amazing. Well, make sure you guys check out Project Medtech. Make sure you sign up for the next event. We've got one coming up in Philly, and then also, like I said, next year in Detroit. So follow all their channels to make sure you know when all the next upcoming events are happening. And do you want to do the camera thing?
Oh, no doubt.